We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What you doing?
Designing my new 2021 Nissan Kicks online in the Kicks Color Studio. I give each a special name. This one's electric blue, orange, red, white. I call it the Gumball Machine. You think it's me?
I feel like you're more of a red velvet guy.
Limitless possibilities. With over 100 million available color combinations and Bose Personal Plus system in the boldly new 2021 Nissan Kicks. Bose is the registered trademark of the Bose Corporation. Color combinations include interior and exterior colors. Customization is an available feature subject to availability at participating Nissan dealers. See dealer for details.
As Frida Mach and I prepare for the Citizens Grand Jury, which will take place next week, we will be seeking the indictment of Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and his brother Frank, that's Joe Biden's brother, for massive bribery schemes from communist China, Russia, and Ukraine, such that the President of the United States has been more than compromised by the same communist Chinese who brought us COVID-19, who destroyed our country and most of the world. At the same time that we'll be seeking his indictment, and I'm confident we will get the indictment, there's a lot of evidence out there. We will then try him, we will then sentence him, and then we will seek to mete out the sentences peacefully and legally. I talk about this in my new book. It takes a revolution. Forget the scandal industry. We have that right. We're not going to resort to violence or physical force, the force of moral and ethical persuasion over the American people. But ask yourself this question. Why haven't Republicans actually pursued this? Why does it fall upon Larry Klayman and Freedom Watch and our citizens' grand juries to do it? Instead, they'd rather shoot at windmills. Eric Swalwell, trying to remove him from the Intel Committee. Well, you know what? He should be removed from the Intel Committee. He should be removed from Congress, period. I mean, the guy is the dumbest white man in Congress, quite apart from all of his evil deeds, including recently bringing a case against President Trump under the Ku Klux Klan Act, claiming that Trump is in effect the Ku Klux Klan. That being said, though, the Republicans can be pursuing Biden. They don't need to have control of committees. They've lost everything. They've lost everything because they're incompetent. They've lost everything because they're unethical. And they've lost everything because they're corrupt. As a political party, they're dead. But why waste your time with the little power they have left dealing with a zero, a nothing, like Eric Swalwell, when you've got a president of the United States bought and paid for by the same communist Chinese who have destroyed this country through COVID-19, or as Mark Stein says, Chicom-19. They could go out and hire private investigators. They don't need subpoena power. They could use alternative means, as anybody would be able to use. But no, they're not going to do that. And that is a good example of why the Republican Party is dead. It's finished. It's over. And as I've said before, I'll be starting a new political party with separate organizations, the new American Independence Party, for the people to rise up and to declare independence from this corrupt government. Yesterday, I talked about a young woman in Florida who was in the Capitol peacefully, her Capitol, protesting on January 6th. She was arrested, and they want to extradite her back to Washington, D.C. Arrested by the FBI, which is being misused, to say the least, by Biden and Harris as their own version of the Gestapo, to quell any dissent to the total leftist takeover of this country, to communize it, to turn it into an atheist dictatorship, and to further the interests of radical groups. And talk about radical groups. Let's talk about the radicals that are flowing across the border right now, many from Iran, many from Middle Eastern countries, a terrorist threat. Biden and the left are blaming Trump for that. Obviously, it's a lie, but they don't care about lying because that's what communists do. They lie. The ends justify the means. And to send the half-wit McCarthy down there, Kevin McCarthy, the so-called minority leader of the House of Representatives. I mean, this is a guy who, when the Republicans were supposed to be investigating Hillary Clinton's Benghazi crimes, and in fact, you might remember Trey Gowdy, who's now an announcer on Fox News. He's a commentator, took a dive on that, accomplished nothing. Gowdy never did anything other than shoot his mouth in Congress. That's exactly the problem with the Republican Party, shooting their mouth. But this is a security risk, and the Republicans, all they can do is talk. But let's also talk about what went on in Miami Beach just last weekend. 150 people arrested, primarily African Americans. You can go look at the video of it. They were arrested for guns, for drugs, for violence, and for other crimes. Police were injured in making those arrests. This tells you something. I'm not blaming one group. What I'm saying is, get your own house in order, African Americans. Stop whining and crying and saying that you're discriminated against every step of the way when your people are invading Miami Beach with drugs and guns. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where are they? Oh, that's okay. If Black people do it, it's okay. Just walk off. And the same thing's true of other minority groups, not the majority of people in those groups, but the radicals in those groups. They think they're above the law. They think they get special privileges. And now the rest, the majority, have to sit at the back of the bus. Well, we're all equal. We're all equal. You do the crime, you do the time, and you don't assault police because they're doing their job. So watch what we're going to do with our new group, America's Sheriff, with Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He's my partner, as well as Demetric Penny, an African-American police officer from Dallas, Texas, who sued Farrakhan and Sharpton and Black Lives Matter and the new Black Panther Party. In fact, conservative Blacks are the most corrupt and most honest and most courageous people in this country. The white people run for the exits. They bow down. Okay, do whatever you want. We don't care. We're sorry that there was slavery, so you can do whatever you want. Well, it's time. You don't get to do whatever you want. And that's the bottom line. And that's where we are today in this country. It's disintegrated. The radical left is taking control. The Republican Party doesn't exist. We, the American people, must rise up. We must form a new nation, as we did on July 4th, 1776, not with court jesters, clowns, and criminals in Congress, but with people that actually represent us, with judges who aren't bought and paid for. We don't get to the bench through legalized bribery and sometimes actual bribery. That's how you get to be a federal judge. That's the bottom line. Money talks and nobody walks. And the deep state in both branches, in the executive branch of government from both political parties. American people need to rise up. And that's why on May 31st, we will have a third Continental Congress, and we will declare a new government by and for the people, and we will move on. And we'll take that government back to Philadelphia, where it all began, at Independence Hall. We'll do it peacefully and legally. That's what I said today. Stay tuned for what I say tomorrow, because if you think today's bad, wait till tomorrow. It's going to be even worse with the way things are happening, unless we, the people, rise up. Peacefully and legally, as I write in my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. You can get it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, all major booksellers. We are in more than a crisis. We have lost the country. Take that to heart. Pray to the Father and his Son. He will help us as he helped the founding fathers and the colonialists if we help ourselves. That's my message. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, try to stay safe, and God bless.
Ooh, a fondue set. Ugh, now I need to find a coupon code.
Not anymore, Susan. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout.
Wait, instantly?
It's called shopping smart, not hard. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer for free and let it do the work for you.
Don't mind if I fondue.
Haha, that's kind of cheesy. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
This week at Macy's, save big on fresh spring arrivals, like 20 to 50% off updates for him and her. And 20 to 30% off women's shoes and sandals. Plus, get ready for your holiday with all new cutlery from J.A. Henkel's and more. Now 40% off. And Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. More at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like Taylor Swift choosing what to wear.
It's looking kind of chilly out today. I think I'll go with a cardigan.
Yep, even easier than that. And with our top-rated app, you can bank anytime, anywhere, making Capital One an even easier decision. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
New consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.